Hi everyone, my name is Kenna Wilkes and I'm the Vice President of Communications for Indiana University Dance Marathon. So as I already mentioned, I'm the VP Com, but I was also the 2021 Gala Chair last year, which meant that I assisted and oversaw the planning of our annual Gala event. So today I'm just going to be going over a few things. So number one, just covering what are fundraising events, and then covering our event target audience, event programming, and event project management. I'm really hoping that this presentation will help anyone who is looking to get started with planning an event that's geared towards fundraising, because it can definitely be a little overwhelming when you first start. So I am really hoping that this presentation will be helpful to any organization that is looking to either better their current fundraising events or get them started. So just to first go over what are fundraising events. So these events are designed with the intention of raising money, support, and awareness for your organization. These are not culture building events for your committee members. We obviously love our committee members and we want to get them involved in our organization in any way possible. However, these fundraising events are really targeted towards donors, who we all know are looking to get more involved in the organization and wanting to donate a little bit more money, but want like an event to go to that they can support. And these events are definitely more targeted towards those high level donors and alumni and key stakeholders. They're not so much targeted towards our committee members. Our committee members, their focus, we should be focusing on providing them with culture building events, but these fundraising events are not the events to do that at. So I want you all to take a look at these pictures. So on the left side was the venue that we hosted our old gala in up until about 2018-ish. And then the picture on the right is where we moved our gala to in 2019. So the capacity of the one on the left, you can see, is roughly 1,000 people. The one on the right is roughly 650 people. So I just want you all to take a second and just like sit there and think of which event you think was maybe more successful and why. All right, so hopefully you all got a chance to think about it. So the event on the right, where the capacity was 650, has been our more successful event. So lots of people think that when you're playing a fundraising event, you need to have a venue that can fit as many attendees as possible, and you want to invite as many attendees as possible. But what we were seeing when we had our event over here in this venue with a capacity of 1,000 people is that we had to price our tickets for a lot lower because we had a lot more tickets available. And we started getting some people attending the event who necessarily were not a part of our target audience. They were not our high-level donors, key stakeholders, alumni, and we really wanted to tailor the event towards those people and make it a more exclusive event. So after we moved over here, we were able to make it a more exclusive event. It's a much nicer venue, as you can tell, and also make it more intimate experience for our guests and more classy. So that is why the event on the right has been raising more money. So now we are going to talk about our target audience and inviting our target audience. So first off, when you're trying to think of a target audience, it might be very overwhelming trying to figure out who all you want to invite, how you're going to invite, and everything. So what we like to do is kind of group our target audience into different sections. Not that any section is more important than the other, but some sections some groupings might donate a little bit more money, but regardless, all of them are super important. This just helps us to really segment our invites. So to start off, we have tier one. So tier one can be anyone from families of your organization members. So this is a good way to get your committee members involved. If they have any parents or families who would like to attend these fundraising events, they can definitely do so and buy tickets, and maybe even their family will buy them a ticket. So that can be like a fun little way to get your committee member involved, but also, they can hang out with their own family, which would be nice. Tier one is also any just general past event attendees. And if you're starting a new fundraising event and this isn't necessarily applicable to your new fundraising event, past attendees of previous organization events would also fall into this category. Finally, tier one also involves our high school dance marathon advisors. We work very closely with them all year round and we love them so much. So we always invite them to all of our fundraising events because we are always looking to get them involved in new ways in our organization outside of our high school dance marathons. Tier two is any hospital staff, which your support contact can definitely assist you with anything concerning the hospital staff, but we have found that our partner hospital, Raleigh Hospital, all of their staff loves attending our fundraising events, specifically our gala, every year, just so they can interact with new donors who help to support the hospital. Tier two also involves all of your alumni, and especially your more recent alumni. Alumni who have graduated in the past year, 2-3 years, they definitely are still super connected to the organization and looking to keep that connection strong. And so they also love attending these fundraising events because it provides a way for them to reunite with everyone who they were in the organization with and also support the organization that they love. Finally, tier three can be any high-level hospital leadership, high-level donors, corporate sponsors, and finally the speakers for your event. So if you're having any sort of entertainment or speakers, as we do for our gala, they also do fall within that tier three audience, and their supporters also do fall within that tier three audience. So now that we've talked about all of the different tiers of our target audience, we got to now talk about how we invite them all to our fundraising events, which there's definitely a different way to, very similar way, but different way to invite each tier to your event. So tier one, you can normally just send general invite emails, advertise on your social media, send about 2 to 3 emails following up. To ask them to attend the event. But a lot of this, especially if it's families of your organization members, they will also be reached out to personally by their family member who was already in the organization. Tier two, for your hospital staff, we will also send an invite email, but you'll personalize that one more towards the hospital staff specifically. And again, you'll lean on your hospital contact for support. With the alumni, you will also send an invite email. And in that invite email, you want to make sure that you thank the alumni for all of their contributions they've already made to the organization and really get across that we want to invite them to this event to thank them for their support and also provide an opportunity for them to still stay involved within your dance marathon organization. And finally, tier three. So tier three, you first want to start off with printed invites because these are your high-level donors and hospital leadership, and also your corporate sponsors who are probably donating a lot of money to the event. You want to send them personalized printed invites. So we found that this has worked really well in the past. We've gotten lots of good feedback on sending these printed invites. Then after that, you would like to send a personal email invite just to provide them with the link to buy their tickets and all that sort of stuff. And finally, if anyone out of your tier three group hasn't bought a ticket to your event yet and you really want to see them there, a personalized call never hurts. And I think that you can definitely call them, have a conversation with them, and let them know why you'd like to see them at your event. So yeah, that is how you would invite your target audience. So now we're going to go over event programming, the overarching theme, speakers, entertainment, and multimedia. All right, so an overarching theme for your fundraising event. Why is this important? It helps you tie together all of your programming to ensure your story and the message that you want to deliver comes across. And also your audiences love a story. So this year for our gala, our overarching theme is the gift of tomorrow. And so that is what we're really focusing on when it comes to tailoring all of our speakers and also writing a script for how we're going to tie all of them together. And we are really thinking that our audience is going to love hearing about the gift of tomorrow from different perspectives of speakers. So we're really excited for that. So to go over this, how do I create an overarching theme? Number one, you first need to decide on the message that you want to deliver. So this doesn't have to be anything like set in stone, but definitely just a brainstorming session to decide on how you want to deliver or decide on what that message is that you want to deliver. Then you want to create a phrase for the message. This can be anywhere from 3 to 6 words. It doesn't have to be super long by any means. After that, you want to pitch the phrase to people not directly involved in the event planning, because this will help you test how an audience member would interpret the phrase. So after our team came up with the theme for our gala this year, we pitched it to other members of exec as well as some alumni. And also our own families. And we were trying to test and see how they all responded to the phrase. We had to tweak it a little bit, but we ended up with the gift of tomorrow. And everyone that we pitched the phrase to really liked it, understood the message that we're trying to get across. And it was just a good way for us to really test that phrase out. So in terms of your event programming, obviously this will differ from event to event and very much differ depending on the actual event that you're planning. But this is kind of our breakdown of event programming for our annual gala. So any speakers that you're going to have at your event, you want to pick speakers with a variety of perspectives. For our annual gala, we always have a student speaker, a hospital staff speaker, an alumni speaker, and also our Riley family speaker. We have found that these 4 categories of speakers really help to provide different perspectives on the message that we're trying to deliver, and it's worked out really well for us. You also want to order speakers in a manner that tells your story and ties together your theme. So make sure that you're being intentional about the order that you're placing your speakers in. And you should also be working with all speakers to tailor their speeches. It's okay to ask speakers for a rough draft about 2 weeks after the event of their speech and help them tailor that speech to make sure that it really delivers the message that you want it to deliver. So to go along with your keynote speaker will be the strongest speaker who will have the most influence over your audience donating. And you want to place this in the programming right before your big fundraising push. So make sure to keep that in mind as well. Your entertainment, you want to look for live bands with a personal connection to your organization's community. It's a really great way to get your community involved. We have had the same band at our annual gala the last few years. They used to be students and they've graduated, and we've built a really strong connection with them. And every year, people really look forward to hearing them play at our gala events. So this is definitely one way that you can get any of your organization members involved. If they are a part of bands or anything, people would love that. Finally, multimedia. You want to look, especially in 2022, you want to start looking for ways in which you can incorporate people who may not be able to be there in person into your programming. So for example, we find this a lot with hospital families, for whatever reason, key alumni stakeholders, etc. So for example, one way that we're incorporating multimedia into our gala event this year is that one of our annual awards that is always presented at our gala is presented by by a person who's high up in hospital leadership. So she is going to create a video for us explaining the award, and a video that our gala planning team can reuse for years after our gala this year. So we can create a fun little video that will explain the history behind the award, and then she can get up on stage and actually present the award to the person receiving it. So really excited for that. All right, so this is a lot of information that I've given you, so it's definitely very overwhelming. So you're probably wondering, how the heck do I actually do this all and manage all of this? So we're just going to go over event project management. So what is event project management? It's a centralized manner in which an organization can keep all important data and information related to an event in one place. Why is this important? It ensures that there is streamlined communication, organization, and an overall successful event. Our annual gala, as well as any fundraising events in general, would not be possible without intense project management. There's a lot of people working on that event, trying to make it successful, and there needs to be one way that they can all communicate with each other and make sure that everything is getting done in a timely manner. So I am going to go ahead and share an example of what our project management looks like. All right, so I went ahead and took off any numbers or names on here or anything, but I just want to give you all an overview of what our project management looks like every single year. So over here, we always have all of the leads and contacts, as well as all of our goals and when our planning meetings are, weekly planning meetings. All of our planning docs are also over here. So this involves anything from the event ticket request page, or we also have an auction at our gala every year. So that also involves a link to the auction request page, that sort of stuff. A general task overview, as well as a breakdown of the past year's galas, and finally, all of our speakers and their contact information. So this is our master task list, and I left examples on here so everyone can see that, but we have a huge list of everything, the category that it falls into. We add in our due dates here, and finally we add in leads here so everyone knows who is responsible for what. And then the status here, so either obviously red for hasn't started, yellow, orange for in process, and finally green for done. And a note section for anyone to take notes on, anything like that. We also have our discussions to have tab. So while this seems vague, this has actually been really helpful in making sure that we discuss everything that we want to discuss. And so, for example, we have like MC auditions, when are we going to do that, all that sort of stuff. We also have our like COVID plans or backup plans here. So after the topic, we have people involved, deadline, status, notes, that sort of thing. For our invitations, so as we talked about with our tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 audience, it can also be tricky trying to keep track of everyone that you're trying to invite to the event. So we use this tab to make sure that we're inviting everyone and also giving everyone the complimentary tickets that should be given complimentary tickets. So once again, we have the method, deadline, status, notes. We also have links to spreadsheets over here and all that good stuff. Finally, or not finally, we have packing and printing lists. This is extremely helpful on the days leading up to our event to make sure that we have everything that needs to be packed, because as we all know, fundraising events can definitely get a little tricky sometimes, and it's very easy for the little things to get lost in the shuffle. So we just have that so we can go through and check that. And finally, we have an expenses tab. So this can help you keep track of all of your expenses for the event and everything. And we have all of our post-event things to do. So that could be anywhere from making phone calls to our big donors at the event, thanking them for their contributions. Also like thanking our speakers and everything, just so we can make sure that we keep everything all in one place for what we need to do after the event. So that is our project management, and that will be shared with everyone as well. All right. So thank you all so much for listening to this today and everything. Very much appreciated. And I hope that you all are also able to have successful fundraising events.